when there was really big movement, the movement was driven by these small companies and relatively small companies, which I don't have options on. So that means that the index does move quite a lot faster than my portfolio. So even on a one correlation, if I use my proxy basket, I might still not make money. The final slide. The problem with dispersion is that usually it's expensive. So what you tend to get is, let's say, a 0.6 or even lower than that implied correlation. So if you look at it here, in our example, this was 0.62 correlation. So it is a bit of a costly hobby. So let's do it normal again. So here you see, if every stock moves their daily volatility, I lose about 137 bucks. If there's no movement whatsoever, I lose 187 bucks. So I do pay quite a bit of theta. So what people think is, well, why don't I put on a margin of safety? I just want to have less theta payment. How can I pay less theta? That is if I would sell more index options or if I would buy less stock options. So let's buy a bit less stock options. So instead of buying 100 gamma, I'm only buying 65 gamma in each of my names. So logically, if I reduce my position by a third, I also pay a third less in theta. So now I have a position that day to day doesn't cost me that much. Where's the risk? Now suppose we have this massive correlated move upwards. All stocks go up 5%. Let's make it even bigger. All stocks go up 6%. Ouch! What's happening here? It used to be that if all stocks move up in the same, I would just break even. But of course that only applies if I would have had my full coverage. Because now I end up, a movement of 6% in the index means I have 2400 index short deltas. So my cover would be 600 deltas long in each of my stocks. But because I economized, because I bought less gamma, I have less long deltas. So I still make money on my long deltas, but just not enough. Because you look at what I'm short, what I lack is roughly 2/3 of my movement revenue. Because I only bought 2/3 of the gamma. So the problem is, if I do a cheapskate dispersion, the benefit, I don't pay day-to-day theta, which of course, if nothing happens, is great. But if I would have suddenly a big move, it hurts like crazy. 2011, August, was not a good month for the stock markets. They really collapsed like 15% in a matter of days. So then you're talking about a high volatility, highly correlated move. If you would then have a cheapskate, or officially called theta neutral dispersion, you effectively are short too much volatility. And you, boom, you might get blown up. So this is dispersion. I actually like dispersion a lot, because it's elegant. I need to look at all the stocks in my index, and I look at the index itself. So what happened in Hong Kong? The market panicked, so people bought all the index options. The market makers in the stock options were a bit more slow. So the only thing we had to do was quote request buy, and we lifted all these options at their prices. So people panic, sell the index, and then you totally clean out all the market makers. Which is great, because then you have this big dispersion portfolio, and then you just wait for the movement to be weird, which it always is. Unfortunately, since 2009-ish, 10-ish, dispersion just is not what it was anymore. It's still very expensive. Index vol is so depressed. So I just have to lay an ambush. But there will be a time in the next great financial crisis when people panic, when index volatilities explode, The only thing you have to do is go with your bucket and get all the single stock rolls. Let's do a small break, about 5 or 10 minutes, and then afterwards I'm going to talk about the assignment, because what's going to be assignment number 2? It was, I think, individual assignment. I would like you to calculate that dispersion number for the 2 Hong Kong indices, the Hang Seng and the H-shares. So if you give me a bit of time, I need to do a preparation sheet, and I always, when I do the preparation sheet, I actually already give you half the assignment. So that's a good thing. So bear with me for a bit.